The JonBenét Ramsey case, Part 3, Media Manipulation, Public Psychology, and Trial by Television, when a murder became a spectacle. Before any courtroom heard evidence, before a suspect was charged, before the truth had time to surface, the world had already chosen a story, not in a court of law, but on television. Within hours of JonBenét Ramsey's death, her name spread across the globe, not because the facts were known, but because the mystery was irresistible. A beautiful child, a wealthy family, a ransom note written inside the home, and a body discovered hours later. This was not just a crime. It was a perfect media storm, the birth of a media case. In 1996, cable news was exploding. The internet was beginning to transform how people consumed information. 24-hour news cycles demanded constant content, even when there were no verified updates. The JonBenét Ramsey case filled that void. News producers realized something quickly. This story didn't need facts to be compelling. It needed drama, and drama was easy to create when no one could confirm what was true. Each hour brought a new exclusive. Each night, a new theory. Each morning, a new villain. And slowly, the case shifted from investigation to entertainment. The first leaks. Details from inside the Boulder Police Department began appearing in tabloids. Anonymous sources leaked. Fiber evidence. Handwriting analysis. Internal disagreements. But context was removed. What should have been confidential investigative material became speculation disguised as fact. The public was never told. What was verified? What was untested? What was rumor? Everything blurred into one narrative. And that narrative demanded suspects. Creating a story arc. Every television show needs characters. The Ramsey became the central cast. John, the successful executive. Patsy, the pageant mother. Burke, the quiet brother. Each was assigned a role. The grieving father became distant. The emotional mother became theatrical. The child became suspicious. These labels were repeated so often they replaced reality. Psychologists were brought onto talk shows to analyze their facial expressions. Body language experts claimed to see deception in pauses and gestures. But these interpretations were not evidence. They were theater, the psychology of suspicion. Humans struggle with uncertainty. When a crime has no clear suspect, the mind seeks closure. We look for patterns. We fill gaps with assumptions. This is called cognitive closure, the desire for a clear answer, even when none exists. The public didn't just want justice. They wanted certainty. And the media gave it to them. Confirmation bias in action. Once a theory takes hold, the brain filters information to support it. This is confirmation bias. Every interview clip, every pause, every tale was interpreted through a chosen narrative. Evidence that contradicted the theory was dismissed. The story was no longer being discovered. It was being enforced. The rise of armchair investigators. The internet transformed the case into a global guessing game. Thousands of people, many with no investigative training, analyzed the ransom note, the parents' interviews, the brothers' childhood behavior. Online forums became echo chambers where speculation grew into belief. Each new post reinforced the last. Truth was replaced by consensus. When media replaces justice, the Ramseys were never convicted, but their reputations were destroyed. They became guilty in the court of public opinion. This is the danger of trial by media. There is no standard of proof, no right to defense, no appeal. Once labeled, a person never escapes. The cost of spectacle. JonBenét became a symbol, not a child. Her laughter, her life, her dreams were lost behind headlines. Her story became content. And content demands constant conflict. Reflection. This case is not just about what happened in a house in Boulder. It is about what happens when tragedy becomes entertainment, when grief becomes currency, when speculation becomes truth, when the audience becomes a jury, because justice cannot survive a spectacle, and when the world becomes a courtroom. No one is truly innocent